I met a gypsy.
And I look at Jet, like Jet's probably the other dude that I think has probably the most insane technique. Mm-hmm. And like the posture is just like, I can't even get into the posture that he's in mid pausing a frame of a video. I can't even get my neck back that far because like my neck's all fucked up. Like just posturally, I'm not right. And it's like it translates to the bike. And I look at guys like you and Jet and you just see this like flawless, solid posture, like rock solid. So it's insane to hear you say that was such like a big part of your training.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, Jet and Hunter both have great style. And I think a lot of it just, and even Kenny, I mean, honestly, all four of us on Honda have, I mean, I would say some of the best style. Just overall being able to ride the bike easy, or it's not easy, obviously. It's never easy, but we all make it look fairly easy, which is cool. But I think, like I said, Jet obviously is super talented. He does a lot of stuff on the bike where I am impressed. And you don't see a lot of that nowadays with, not that kids coming up aren't talented and stuff, but I really look at form because
it all kind of looks the same.
Yeah, well, I always look at form because you can always go fast having bad form, but you can't, especially as an amateur. I always feel like these kids they can ride the bike a certain way, but once you get to the pros and you have to do it for extended amount of time, it really can bite you. And I actually just watched a video of Deegan riding, and I will say that he's got great form. Like, I watched a video of him racing at Minios on the 250F, and I mean, he looks like he rides the bike properly, which is refreshing to see, because not a lot of those younger kids like that, not to hate on them, I just feel like a lot, if they have their elbows down, and that can just really bite you when you get to a bike that has the force behind it at like a 450 or even a 250, because it's easier for to make mistakes, and those things catch up with you a lot easier when you're not in the right position on the bike. So when you can freeze frame somebody and they're in the right position, that means that they know how to ride a dirt bike, and they are doing that for a reason. So yeah, I think a lot of kids now, I'm not even trying to be like you know how those old guys like, oh, back in the day, like, that we always did it. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, like, as a form thing, I think it's safer for people to ride with better form, be able to be taught young, but they're so late now. Like when if you don't know how to ride a bike by the time you're on an 85, you're not changing any of that. From when you're on an 85, you're not changing someone's riding style when they're on a 250F. It's just not going to happen, because by the time they've figured out how to ride the bike that way, it's like my dad said, breaking a habit's so much easier than making one. So I just think a lot of these guys, they ain't changing their ride style. They're going to have to learn how to ride like that. So it's more difficult, I would say.
I think it's interesting you brought up Deegan, man, because like I really think that, I mean, obviously I'm kind of biased. Like I'd say me and Brian are definitely friends now after like the last year or so of like doing this together and some, you know, like talking business and shit like that. So I'm definitely biased, and I'm like a massive Danger Boy fan. And it was mind blowing to me. I haven't really spoke about this, but it was mind blowing to me, the difference. Like, so he first did the podcast in May, right? And it was before Brian did it. Brian was like, oh, I'd love to get Haiden on just for, 20 minutes just to do it. And I was like, fuck, I was not prepared for this. Like, I did not have any questions for a 14-year-old kid in mind. Like, and it was hard to converse with him, like that was a kid. He didn't really know what he was doing. It sounded like a podium thing. And like to do, I think we must have done that in October, the second one with him. Bro, completely different kid. Like the learning curve that he's been on to just personally to, have that conversation. Like I have conversations for a living. So to see somebody make that big of a difference in a conversation, I was like, Jesus, man, like this kid's gnarly. And then to see the way that he is riding that star bike, like I agree, man. Like there's a lot of effort that is going into like him doing it properly. And I think people instantly want to hate on that kid and think that he's not going to do as well as he's going to do. Like I think if you're sleeping on Haiden Deegan, and if you've got any like ego around like he's not working hard, he's just been given everything, they just went to Star for money, like I hope none of his competitors think like that, because he's gonna fucking destroy those people that doubt him. Like he's just one of those kids, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I've met him a few times and obviously talked to Brian a little bit, but I don't really know him at all. I'm just from what I've seen and just from how he's taken to the big bike, because a lot of kids, like, I mean, he does rev the bike, which obviously I don't really rev it that much, but he revs it, but he also rides it fundamentally correct, I feel like. And he has been very fortunate growing up, and he has had stuff, he has the tools to, I guess, make it.
Yeah.
And I respect it more that he has the tools and has been given all that to make it, or he hasn't made it. I wouldn't say he's made it yet. Until you win a 450 championship, I don't think you really made it. So I haven't made it really either. But I would say it's probably more respectable to see him where he is now when he's been given all this stuff as a young kid to work that hard. And it's pretty cool to see, because he has been very fortunate, but he obviously seems to take it and use it to his advantage.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.